Hello everyone, hope everybody's doing great today. Appreciate those who watch this video. I hope you enjoy it. Today we'll be talking about the South Korean show. It just ended this week. You can find it on Viki. It's called My Lovely Mobster. Mobster. There we go. It's about our male lead and our female lead here. The male lead, he was forced into the life of crime by his father. He was raised by his mother, but eventually his father found him, kidnapped him basically, and forced him to be in the mafia. He ends up eventually portraying his father, and his father goes to prison. And he kind of felt bad for those of the people who are in his father's gang or in his mob, or whatever you want to call it. And so once they get out of prison, he kind of helps them find a job. He started a meat company, and he hires a lot of the former employees, I guess, of his father, and he hires them. They work for him now, doing no longer doing a life of crime, but doing a life of of meat. I guess I'm going to say that life of meat. Then you have our female lead here. She is she creates material for children on it's like something like YouTube. I'm not really sure if they actually say YouTube, but she creates content for children so they can learn, and she plays with them and stuff like that. Stuff that you would see on like Mr. Rogers for those Americans. I don't know what the equivalent of that would be over there in Korea, or Captain Kangaroo. Hey, I'm going to say stuff from when I was a kid, right? I don't know who does that kind of stuff these days. Or Barney and Friends, kind of content. And of course, like any Korean show, the two leads had to know each other when they were kids. And it just turns out that our male lead was kind of like somebody who would comfort our female lead when she was down. They would play together. They had this special bond as children. And then, of course, he got kidnapped by his father, so they got separated, and now they're reunited. And it turns out she's been looking for him for years, and she didn't really know who he was until later on in the series. Spoiler alert. And then we have our good old prosecutor, who's the second male lead. He loves the female lead. I fell in love with her through her content that she would make as her children, for children, I believe. And actually, no, that wasn't the reason. The first time they met it was raining outside. He was on a blind date. The date kind of dumped him, or he dumped her, but it looks like, in our female lead's eyes, our prosecutor got dumped by the other girl. And so she handed him an umbrella, and that act of kindness made him kind of have a crush on her, and started following her on her YouTube channel. I'm gonna call it YouTube. I'm not really sure what it was referred to in the movie. So this is a comedy. It can be a little bit too childish of comedies in some aspects. Some parts is like very immature, but for the most part, the comedy is not too dumb, not too childish. Which kind of like the childish comedy kind of gives you the break. It does get kind of serious, especially later on in the series, once the father gets out of prison and tries to force his child, the male lead, back into the life of crime and being a mobster. This movie kind of is about giving people second chances. Even though these people were in the mob, you see them, they're actually good people. And you kind of wonder if they were forced to do these crimes, forced to be bad, if they were kind of bullied into that lifestyle. Let's see. So it is kind of like, trying to think what my next words are going to be there. So it is kind of like, giving people second chances, and how you can be judged by your past actions. That happens throughout the show. A lot of these people find out that this meat company hires ex-convicts. Kind of hurts the company's reputation, because they're unwilling to give these people a second chance. And just realistically, I would probably be the same way. At least people judging these ex-convicts, because it's just a defense mechanism that humans need to protect ourselves. I mean, if you had a criminal or a burglar or a child molester or somebody living next door, I mean, if somebody's like a pedo, you're not going to have them be your child's babysitter. You're not going to have your child be alone with them or whatsoever because of their past actions, right? Even if you know, even if they claim that they don't do that stuff anymore, that's how you protect your children. So I can understand, you know, you do need to give people second chances, but they need to earn your confidence, your trust. You need to earn your trust that you're no longer that way. So a lot of these people, you know, they're just making on like real time judgments. You know, they don't really know them. All they know is that these people were criminals, and it's true that these people actually did criminal acts in the past. Now they're nice people. They don't do that stuff. They're trying to get away from that lifestyle. But if you're a stranger, you don't really know them, you don't know that. So I can understand. So I'm kind of on both sides of the story there, where, you know, I wouldn't want my child interacting with these people. In this case, you know, a lot of people are stop buying their meat products because they found out they're ex-convicts. I don't know if I would go that far, but you know, they might. I guess they assume that there might be something going on with the meat. Might be bad, or maybe they're using all that money for criminal activities. So I can understand in that aspect. So I'm kind of like on both sides of the story. You need the fence there. You need to give people second chances, which is what this show is about. But at the same time, I can understand not really trusting these people who were ex-convicts, because that's the way you protect yourself from harm. But you still kind of have to keep, you know, open mind on that. See what else. Second chance, prejudice. Yep, that's about all I really have to cover on this. I would recommend this one. I think it's a good movie. The two leads do a great job of training their characters. They got good chemistry. And then you have the prosecutor there, who he's kind of like a butthole a little bit, because he's really convinced that the male lead is a criminal, even though there's no evidence toward him being a bad guy. He's just got that prejudice against him. So for most of the series, for the most part, he is kind of a a-hole, I guess you could say. I don't want to cuss, toward our male lead. And you know, of course, he's also the rival love interest as well. The thing is, I think I've seen this guy in other movies where he's like a serial killer, so it's kind of hard for me to like him, because I pictured him as a serial killer and other things, other movies, it's typecasted, I don't know, in my mind. But he does a good job as well. You got great side characters in this. Her best friend's really great. You got two former goons, you know, who are now working for the meat company. They're like the comic relief. They do their job really well. So I'm gonna give this. I barely recommend this one. If you like comedies, and this was a great one to check out. And it's pretty good, consistent throughout 16 episodes. You don't have like an annoying breakup. You know, there is a part where they separate, of course, but it's not like annoying. It don't last very long. And so the question is, will they survive in the end? Because there is some stabbing going on and stuff like that. So there is some fighting and stuff. And I'll leave it at that. So have a great day, and hopefully you enjoy this video. Bye.